In this video, we're going to practice the new chords A, E, and E7. We'll start with A. Remember that we're going to put our fingers, all three of 1, 2, and 3 fingers, in fret 2 on strings 2, 3, and 4. Make sure that they're nice and rounded and make a nice strum. Okay, now, when changing from A to E, we keep fingers 2 and 3 in their same position. Just lift finger 1, move 2 and 3 just up a string to strings 5 and 6, and then you place finger 1 on string 3. Okay, changing from E to E7 is very easy. You keep your fingers in those positions that we just did, and you keep fingers 1 and 2 down, and you lift finger 3. Very simple key changes or chord changes. So let's practice now changing from each chord, changing between those chords, and do your very best. We'll strum 4 times between each one and do your best, and we'll start from E to E7. Start by putting your fingers in the E position, and remember to lift finger 3 when we're making E7 and to put it back down when we make the E. Ready? 1, 2, ready, start. 1. Lift your finger, E7. Put your finger back down, E. Lift it up, E7. Put it back down, that's E. Lift it up. Put your finger back down, E chord, lift it up, and one more time on E. 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. Good job. Now let's make the A chord by putting those 3 fingers all in fret 2, strings 2, 3, and 4, and get ready to change between E, or between A and E. And remember that you're going to lift your finger 1 and simply move fingers 2 and 3 back and forth when you change between these 2 chords. So start with A. Ready? 1, 2, ready, strum. A. Lift finger 1, move the other fingers to the E position, and E. 1, 2. Lift finger 1 and move the fingers, A position. 1, 2, 3. Lift finger 1, move to E. Lift finger 1, move to A. Lift finger 1, move to E. Whoops. Lift finger 1, move to A. Lift finger 1, and one more time to E. Whoops. Good job. Okay, now we're going to change from A to E7. When changing from A to E7, you're going to simply lift finger 1 and move the fingers just like you do for fingers for changing to the E chord, but this time you're not putting down finger 3. Okay, so let's give it a try. Ready with A chord position. All right, 1, 2, ready, strum. 1, 2. Lift finger 1, move the other fingers, lift finger 3. Lift finger 1, move fingers 2 and 3 back down and ready for A. Lift finger 1, move your fingers and keep 3 up. Now back to A. And back to E7. One more time back to A. Good job. Okay, now we're going to go back and forth from A to D. Okay? Changing from A to D, you're simply going to lift all of your fingers, and fingers 1 and 2 are going to now stay in the same fret because they're going into the D chord position, but now they're on strings 1 and 3. You remember that. And finger 3 goes in its D chord position. Okay? It's just getting used to where to put those fingers. So get your fingers in A chord position, strum once. Okay, lift your fingers, bring them all down, and fingers 1 and 2 get in their D chord position. Put finger 3 in fret 3 on string 2 and play D. So let's go back and forth between A and D position. So now go from this D, lift your fingers, put them all back on A chord position. Okay, now lift all your fingers and bring them back to their position for D chord. Let's try it again. Lift all your fingers, move them to their position for A chord. Okay, again, let's change it to D. Lift all your fingers, move them into position for D chord. Okay, now are you ready to go between those chords while we strum? Let's try it. Let's start with A, just like on your practice sheet. Okay, so we'll do 4 strums, lift the fingers and move them into the new chord position. Ready? 1, 2, ready, strum. Lift your fingers, move them to D chord position. 4 strums. 1, 2. Lift and move your fingers. A. Lift fingers, move them to D. Good job. So if you keep practicing those chord changes every day, it will get easier and easier. Thank you for practicing. You're awesome.